Good afternoon, teacher. Today we are going to talk about the communicative approach. My group is conformed by Yusdanis Ospino, Tatiana Pereira, and who is talking, Maria Jose Atencia. First, we are going to define the approach. Second, the premise around it. Third, the goals of this approach. Fourth, the characteristics. Fifth, the examples of activities. And the sixth one, we are going to give a little conclusion. Now, my partner Yusdanis are going to present the definition.
Okay, good afternoon, teacher. Well, the communicative approach or communicative language teaching is the best known current approach to language teaching. This is a teaching approach that highlights the importance of real communication for learning to take place. In this sense, interaction becomes both the methods and the goal of teaching. For example, practicing question 4 by asking learners to find out personal information about their colleagues is an example of the communicative approach, as it involves meaningful communication.
Okay, good afternoon, teacher. The communicative approach to language teaching consists or is based on several theoretical premises. So here we have three main premises. The first one is the communication principle, which consists in activities that involve communication, which are important in order to promote the acquisition of the language. And the second point, we have the task principle. This point have activities that engage students in the completion of real-world tasks, promoting the language acquisition. The third point is the meaningfulness principle, in which learners are engaged in activities that promote authentic and meaningful use of language.
The main goal in this approach is for the learner to become communicatively competent. The learner develops competency in using the languages appropriately in given social context. Much emphasis is given to activities that allow the second languages learner to negotiate many inactivities that require oral communication in the second languages. Communicative approach aimed at developing the learner's competence to communicate in the Dutch languages with an enhanced focus on real-life situations.
Okay, this approach has at the same time important characteristics. As for example, it is important to create an information gap between speakers. That is, the communication must be authentic and constant between students and teachers. They need to work together to successfully complete the effective communication. Fluency is an important dimension of communication. It is mean that students are able to speak quickly or easily in a given language, in this case, English. Classroom activities must be varied. These activities should be possible with authentic material where the communication takes place. Cooperative learning in the classroom. According to Kayan, 1995, one of the greatest proponents of cooperative learning in the classroom, described how this strategy is very effective in a language classroom, particularly when employing the communicative approach. Communication involves the integration of different language skills. That is, the four language skills take place in the process of communication, and they are vital for a student to perform real-life goals.
Now, the activities below can be used to provide learners with practice of the languages, and the level of support given might vary depending on the stage of the lesson. The lesson aims at the student's level of ability. Nevertheless, it is important to stress that preparing students to perform tasks is a vital step for the successful completion of activities and development of their communicative competence. Here are some examples of activities that can be used in a communicative approach lesson. For example, say, role plays. In role plays, learners are given in an imaginary situation and are asked to perform a different role or act as themselves in a particular scenario. Role plays enable learners to imagine themselves in realistic situations and rehearse before they need to use English in real life. They are also fun and motivating for some learners. Information gap activities, that is all other example, require learners to talk to each other and find out missing information they need to perform a certain tasks. The information missing might include words, numbers, and even drawings. The main point is to get students to talk and work collaborative to share all information they need.
Okay, also we have jigsaw activities, and in this activity, the main purpose is to involve learners reading, listening, or performing different tasks at the same time, and later sharing what they have done with their peers. For example, we have two groups of students, and each group has to watch a video. This video is different from each other. So after watching the video, they need to complete tasks for comprehension, and then they need to share with their peers the point of view of each video in order to reinforce the information. So we have also open-ended discussion and debate. So basically this activity is done in order to practice fluency. And here learners have to share their own views on topics, use the use of their communicative resource to convey ideas, make points, and also they can express if they agree or disagree with others. So here it's important to say that preparation is important uh, before discuss, because yes, it can help students succeed. So
Okay, another activity that can be used in the communicative approach is the interactive language game. These are games in which the speakers learn by doing in communication settings that responds to every move and decision they make. They interact with the game environments, develop skills to succeed in that environment, and rehearse those skills repeatedly. Okay, from my point of view, this approach is one of the best options to acquire a second language due to its variety of significant activities we can make in order to achieve the communicative competence.
Also, the presence of this principle in the foreign languages class will promote the development of communicative competence at the higher level. to the extent that we as future teachers are able to introduce these elements in order to integrate the competence contained in communication. The greater and more effective the communication process in the foreign languages will be.
Finally, this approach also is an interactive way to learn because it includes a lot of activities as we could see before, and also because learners are learning by doing, and it is an essential tool to foreign language teachers in order to catch the attention from students and making the process of language acquisition with pleasure.
Okay, teacher, that's all for today. This is the bibliography. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.